y'all, and welcome to another Bossy Brushstrokes YouTube video. A while back, I did a tutorial on how I personally achieve a shadow look in Procreate on my artwork. I'm going to be sharing that today in this YouTube video and breaking it down and talking you through it. It's super quick and super easy, and I hope it helps you. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Okay, so to get started, I've just pulled up a screen size canvas in my Procreate app, and the brush I'll be using for this is the Bossy brush, which is available on my website. I'll have a link to that below. It's available for $2, or I have a Procreate brush set with a bundle, and that's available for $8. I'll just keep this simple like I did on Instagram when I did this tutorial previously. I just wrote the word shadow because that keeps it simple. So I'm gonna write that. Okay. I'm gonna duplicate the layer, and to make it easier for you to see, I'm also going to change the color of this top layer. To do that, I'm gonna hit select. I'm gonna come up here and just pick this teal color, and then I'm gonna hit fill layer. Perfect. Okay. So then I'm going to come down and do this bottom layer and work with it a bit. So the way I like to achieve this is I just come over here and I grab it and I move it just a little bit, and it totally depends the look you're going for, how far you want to move the shadow down, and you can always move it later on if you change your mind. For this, I'm just going to move it a little bit. The next thing I like to do is come over here in this corner to the adjustments. I go down to the second option, Gaussian blur. I actually have no idea how to pronounce that, so hopefully that's the correct pronunciation. That tool will be your best friend in Procreate. You can do so many amazing things with it, and it's just so much fun to play around with, and it's my favorite way to create a shadow. So you can just slide on the screen after you've selected that. I generally go for shadows somewhere between 10 and 15%, just depending on the kind of look I'm going for. And as you can see, it's kind of blurring those lines. All right, so I've got it at 13, and I think that looks good. I'm actually gonna come and drop down my shadow just a little bit more to make it more obvious for you guys. The next thing I'll do is I'll come in here and play with the opacity a little bit. I'll bring it down just so it's a little more gray instead of black. The reason that I don't just make the layer color black is because sometimes, you like it to be darker, you like it to be lighter, and it's a lot easier to just come and play with the opacity instead of having to go back and change the color from gray to black or vice versa. That's just a personal preference, but obviously feel free to do it however you like to do it. You can also change the opacity again over here in this adjustments. It's the first option above the Gaussian blur that we just used. So I brought that down to about 62%, and I think that looks good. You can tell that the shadow is there. It's a little blurred. It looks like the light source is coming from this kind of corner over here, and it's showing you that shadow. So this is a super fast, easy way to create a shadow in Procreate. I hope it helped you. If it did, leave me a comment below. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, you should definitely do that. Check out my website. I've got a lot of blogs as well. If you've got an idea for a tutorial, I would also love to hear that in the comments below. So for now, stay bossy, y'all.